shoulder external rotation, pails and rails. And this is going to be with a PVC pipe, and you can do it two ways here. So I'll give you the choice of whichever one you want to do, whichever one feels best. External rotation, the first way, is if I'm kneeling down here, I've got a PVC pipe or something similar, broomstick, pipe, whatever you got. Elbow's going to come in front of the pipe here. Hand's going to wrap around the pole. And then the nice thing about this is I can adjust how deep I can go based off of which variation I have, or how much range I have. So if, let's say, I have some decent external rotation and we're trying to get more, I can set the pole back forward here. That takes my hand back. The farther I go forward, the more my hand goes backward. Try to keep this elbow in line with the shoulder. If I don't have a lot of range, that's okay. I go to here, okay? The thing about it, as you just saw, if my range is not the best position for people who don't have a lot of range of motion, because I need something for this to stick into so that I can actually drive here, because otherwise that'll come up right up off. So putting it under a couch, having someone stand on it, putting a weight under it, just something that I can drive against to go, so I can actually get myself in this external rotation position, which should be very similar to this range right here, okay? The other way you can do it is simply use this pole and not have any elbow support, but simply adjust it based off of this external rotation position. So again, similar to that range, if my active range is to here, I'm going to try to set up with my torso in that same position where my chest is kind of down towards the ground and my hand is back in a shoulder stretch. If you have less range of motion, I kind of like this variation better, because then I can go right here and I can simply lean. If I start like this and I simply lean forward a little bit, then I can easily find a stretch in that shoulder just by adjusting torso position. So if you were, had less range of motion, I'd probably, lean towards this variation best for you. As you're here, your pails are exactly what you think they are. Pails are driving down to the ground here as best we can. Rails are trying to drive up. The key is you got to keep that elbow fixed. Okay, so when you're here, elbow can't be going up and down and up and down. That's working on a different shoulder range of motion than we're trying to. I'm trying to get shoulder rotation. If I'm able to lift this off really high without my elbow moving, cool, I should be able to go deeper here. So if I get really into my end range from my right shoulder here, and I try to lift this off, I really can't, because I'm already at my end range. That's okay. I didn't actually mention on the other side too, the pail and rail here. Once you get here, pails are driving your hand forward right there. Rails are driving your hand back as far as you can. I'd recommend holding on with the opposite hand to make sure it doesn't move forward and backward as you go. Again, if you have decent range or trying to get more, probably go this variation. If you have less range, I'd probably recommend this one, and then slowly work your hand farther and farther back as we get more range of motion.